Hey, that's not the phone we're using. Watch this video if you want to declutter your phone to improve productivity, your mood, your battery life, and to start using your phone more intentionally. Yo, what's going on, fam? I'm FamiLei, and on this channel, we choose to simplify our lives so that we can improve ourselves and our lifestyle. So if that floats your boat, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'm gonna be laying out 9 steps for you to take to declutter your phone. So here is step 1. Before we get started, I wanted to point out that I have a Samsung Galaxy S6. Now, no matter what type of smartphone you have, whether it be an Android or an iPhone, all of these 9 steps will apply to any type of smartphone. You may just have to slightly change where you look for specific settings that you alter. So with that being said, let's just dive right in. So the very first step is to go through every single app that you have and determine if it's valuable. And if you're not going to use it within the next 3 months, or you haven't used it in the past 3 months, then go ahead and delete it. So with every single app, just go through it. Instagram, I don't really go on it too often, maybe about once a day for a couple of minutes, but it does provide value to me and I use it as inspiration. So this game, Empire, I've actually never opened this game before and I've never used it, so I'm just gonna go and delete it. And yes, uninstall. Cool. Alright, so make sure you go through every single app to see which ones you actually use, and if you don't plan on using in the next couple of months, then just delete it. After you install some apps comes step number 2, which is to disable any apps that you could not install but you don't use. So if you go into settings, apps, application manager, you'll be able to see all of your apps from here and check out which ones you disabled or have enabled. So for instance, say that you don't use Amazon Kindle, just go to it. This is something that came into default with the Android, so I can't actually uninstall it, but I can disable it. So make sure you go through all your apps and disable the ones that you don't want to use or use at all. Here's another tip that you can use. If you pull up your phone and then, what's this? Hey man, it's your friend Biggie D. I'm calling from a burner firm because they don't want anyone to trace this, but I got those drugs that you ordered, so go ahead and... Oh shit. Yeah, you didn't hear any of that. In step number 3, you disable any notifications that you don't want. So for me, I have a lot of Facebook notifications, so if I go into the app and then I actually go into the settings, and let me just brighten up the screen really quick to make it easier for you to see. You can go to down to notifications, click on settings, and you can even mute all notifications for a select amount of time or just forever. And you can select what kind of notifications you want, whether you want it to your phone or to your email. For example purposes, I'm gonna go to pages that I follow and just turn off all notifications from it. Boom. Step number 4 is to install a clean, minimal wallpaper. This is a picture I took while swimming with whale sharks in open water in the Philippines. But I'm going to show you really quickly how you can find awesome wallpapers. So if you have a Samsung, you can go to Samsung Themes, which is an app that I installed to find awesome wallpapers. So at the top you can see some of the wallpapers that you have. Some you do have to pay for, but there are many options which are free. You can check out the top ones currently, and usually these top ones are actually free because they're mainly popular because they are free. So say for instance you like this wallpaper, which is just super dope. It's called Space Jelly. You can go ahead and just click on download at the bottom. So after you download them, you just go ahead and set as the home screen or lock screen. Ooh, check that out. So to demonstrate, This is that wallpaper. Dang, that is fire. If you have an iPhone, I'm sure there's a store for this too. You can just go ahead and browse. Make sure you pick one that you like. If you really want to go for a soothing, calm wallpaper, the beach and water is a great place. The sky is also fantastic. Or you can just keep it really simple and have a blank white wallpaper. There are so many different options. Just find the one that vibes with you. Damn, this is fuego. Shit. So after you've installed the clean minimal wallpaper, step number 5 is to put all of your apps into categories. So I've already got the go on this. I have a folder for online dating, social media, communication, photo editing, finance, fun. So for instance, my social media folder has 3 simple apps: Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook. And honestly, I don't even use Snapchat, so I'm just gonna go ahead and uninstall that. For my finance folder, I have my bank account apps, the apps that I use to pay off my credit card bills, and the apps that I use to invest. For fun, I just have Netflix, Reddit, and Webtoons, which is just really all I need to enjoy my time on my phone. My biggest source of entertainment is YouTube, so I've chosen not to have this in a folder just because I use it so often every single day. It's my main source of entertainment, so I just like to have it one click away to open that up. So for these 2 apps, I have Spotify and Podcast Player, which are both audio apps. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop it into my Sounds folder with Shazam and SoundCloud. Boom. So if you're anything like me, you take a lot of photos and videos with your phone. So go ahead and go to your gallery and check out every single photo you've taken. And actually, I would start fresh. So I would create a new folder here. Call it Photos to Keep. Boom. So with that new album, just go through your photos and select which ones you actually want to keep. If you don't want to keep them, just delete them. If you do want to keep them, say for instance you want to keep this adorable photo, go ahead and move it into that new album you just created. So this will help you choose exactly which photos that you actually like, instead of just saving all these photos that are taking up storage on your mobile device. Step number 7 is to transfer all the media files that you've selected to keep into a hard drive. So for me, I hook up my phone and my hard drive to a laptop and then just transfer over all of the photos. This is crucial if you're running out of storage space on your phone. You want to clear up some memory so you can take even more photos and capture more memories. Step number 8 is to delete more files. Now these are files that you probably didn't know that you had. If you go into where your files are stored and downloaded, you can find all the miscellaneous files and downloads that you've made. So for me, if I go to say documents, I can see kind of some of the downloaded documents that I have. And these are files I just downloaded because I needed information from it for just that day. So I can go ahead and delete all of these. Select all and then delete. Boom. The 9th and final step is to look at your storage and clear out any data and cache data that you have. So if you go into settings, go down into storage, you can see how much space you're using out of how much that you actually have. And then if you give it a second, it'll actually tell you exactly where those memories are allocated. So for me, I have 32 gigabytes on this phone. I have 3.13 gigabytes left. For system memory, I have 8. For apps, I have 12.6 gigabytes. So this is the most storage out of all these categories. So I'm actually gonna go into it and try and see what I have and what I can get rid of. And then for an app, you can go ahead and click into it and see your data and cache data. So typically you'll have 2 options. You can clear the data and then clear the cache, which are both taking up memory. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. A couple apps that might be taking up a lot of memory. So for every single app, you can see exactly how much memory it takes up. I know for a lot of people, you might have a lot of songs saved to your Spotify. So if you go to your Spotify app, I have 1.72 gigabytes saved. And with that, I can actually clear all of that data and clear that cache to free up a lot of memory. And who knows, with Spotify, you might have a lot of songs or albums saved that you liked at the time but don't actually listen to anymore. So those were the 9 steps that I took you through to help declutter your phone. But now I'm going to give you some bonus tips that you might be interested in. So if you go into settings, you can go to your display and adjust the brightness. But there's this one thing called blue light filter, which if you use blue light filter at night, it can help you sleep better. You can select when you want to schedule this blue light, and typically I would recommend sunset to sunrise. So once the sun starts to set, blue light filter will activate and then the screen will have it. So for instance, if I turn it on now, this is what blue light filter turned on looks like. But then if I deactivate it, looks like that. Something that might save your battery life is keep screen turned off. This is so that it won't turn on if it's in a dark place, such as your pocket. So if your phone is in your pocket all the time, it's getting notifications and you don't have this turned off, it can actually turn the screen on and notify you. So definitely be sure to turn that off. Some other things would be to go down to your quick settings right here, blue light filter there. If you're really crunched on power, I would turn on this power saving right here. So I just turned that off and it gives you an estimated battery life. So if you turn that on, you're gonna apply it and then save an extra hour or so. Something that always gets me is that I have 4 email accounts attached to this phone. Go into my settings and then go into accounts. I can see all the accounts that are connected. I have these 4 accounts, so what I can actually do is select it. And typically the default is to always try and sync. So if your mobile data is on or if you're connected to Wi-Fi, it'll always try and find new emails that come in. So what this actually does, it actually uses up a lot of data. So for things that I don't really care about, Google News, playbooks, movies, and TVs, I've just turned sync off completely. Something that I would recommend is that when you turn on your phone, to have a clean wallpaper with no apps, no red boxes in the top right corner saying that you have notifications. Just a clean, simple, soothing wallpaper. It would be awesome if you put all of your apps on one page with all the folders and applications that you use the most on one simple page where you can access all of them. Now a little trick is if you're trying to decrease the amount of social media time, to actually take that folder, put in your apps all the way to the very end and even inside another folder, just so you have multiple barriers to open that app. So this will actually mentally deter you from opening that app, just because it takes so damn long to actually get there. Another tip is that sometimes you are going to lose your phone, and on that lock screen, you'll want to have your contact information. For me, it's shauna@gmail.com. Not only does this provide a way to contact me, but it also tells them exactly who I am. I'm Sean Lei. And that is all the tips that I have. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you found it useful, give it a thumbs up. Every single week I make videos on how you can simplify to enhance your life. So be sure to hit that subscribe button. Alright, peace.